Okay, guys. Again, we were having technical problems again, and I am just waiting for Lex to come back up on the screen. So, for some reason, and I'm going to explain, um, when it's scheduled and you're supposed to go live, I go live, and then for whatever the reason is, it gets rid of Lex and um, we have our guest that was going to be in the screen room. So hopefully Lex will be able to get back up. Um, I did send out the link again for Lex. Um, so hopefully he gets back up on the screen. I want to thank you for everyone that showed up today. We do have a special guest from North Alabama, Wraith Hunters, and his name is Kyle Roberts. Now, unfortunately, we did have his partner up, and his partner's name was Logan, but unfortunately, his internet is pretty bad where he's from, so Kyle is filling in for him. So hopefully, we can get Lex back up here. Yeah. So Lex, the link is. Let me do this link again before we get started here. I'm going to send it up again, and hopefully he will be able to click onto that and get back into the room. So today we will be speaking to Kyle, and we're going to be talking about a number of different topics. Another topic we are going to talk about today is the Randonautica. And obviously everybody knows about the Randonautica. You've seen plenty of videos on it, and we definitely have our opinion on it. Some people might agree, some people might not. So hopefully, let's find out where Lex is. So give me a minute here. Can you get... Now, if you people don't know about Melon is a streaming service like StreamYard, but I decided to go with Melon because there were a few more better features than StreamYard, but we are having problems with StreamYard. And so Melon is, it's kind of in beta testing right now. So I guess you're going to have those problems. And so I just heard from Lex. He's trying to get back on and we can get this show started. Hopefully, Kyle from North Alabama Wraith Hunters will be able to get back on. Oh, there's Kyle. Or there's Lex, actually. There's Lex. Okay, Lex, there you go. Thank you for joining us today.
I don't know why it keeps doing this. Every time we've done it on Melon, the minute you cut to the intro, it boots me off and won't let me back
Yeah,
in. And I don't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
Maybe it doesn't like me. But hi
Maybe,
guys,
maybe.
I'm here.
So I don't know what you heard. Did you hear anything that I said, or?
I heard you say that we're going to be talking to Kyle and we got the Randonautica stuff, but that's all I heard.
Oh, okay. So obviously we're going to talk about a few other things today. We are going to talk about the K2. If you were here in last week's show, you will know what we're talking about. Lex asked everybody if they could, just maybe 10 minutes a day, put on your K2 and see what happens. And the reason is because we're finding that the K2 is spiking a lot more recently than in the past. And David from Our Haunted Lives tends to think it might be something in the atmosphere. And it could be true. So what were your results, Lex, during the week? And I'll tell you mine.
Well, it was really weird. It started off the same as when we did that the K2 experiment video, where it was going off all the time. Every time we had it on, it would go up. It was hitting red numbers. So that was quite strong. And then about midweek, I'd probably say Wednesday, maybe Thursday, we got nothing, like, at all. So like the whole day, maybe like one spot of green every now and then when we put it back on. And you can see the evidence of that when I did the finale video, because nothing happened on there as well. So it went from being really active at the beginning of the week to completely inactive by the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, for myself, I did it a few times, like 2 or 3 times during the week. I did it at nighttime to see if it was going to be any different than rather during the day. And honestly, I got a few spikes here and there, but nothing that would be worth me filming, So I'm going to do it again this week, see what it's like, and see what happens. And if it's something really, really good, then I'll film it. I'll send it to you, and you can put it up, for next week's show. So other than that, I am waiting for Kyle to come back in the room. Kyle's not in the room right now, in the green room. Hopefully, he will be able to get back on. Maybe what you can talk about while we're waiting for Kyle is your 3-part series on the Red Book game.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you in the room actually caught on to the little 3-part series that we released over the last 2 weeks. Concluded on Friday. It was a really weird little series. It was never meant to be a series. For the start of the Red Book game, just that, and then we thought we'd just do a K2, and we got loads of good results. So we investigated the house. And, I'm not going to put a 3-hour video up, so I thought I'd split it up into parts. But it was really weird. Positive that we got something on the first 2 videos, 100%. Especially when it said, putting a name out of a book. That's the same as my past nan. So that was insane. Obviously, I had my mother join us as well, so that meant a lot to her when that happened. And the K2 responses were answering the questions, especially, and it was like straight away, like, how old, are you under 20? Straight to yellow. So I couldn't deny that was activity at the time. And then obviously, if you saw the final, you'll see that, whatever was here had left. And a bit of a shame to have nothing else kick off in the final episode, but I thought it was a really good episode to round off the little series anyway, and put a bit more of an awareness out there when you are playing these ritualistic games, is just to make sure you are doing what you can to play it safely and responsibly, really. But, I don't know how many of them in the room saw it, and if you did see it, I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's still up, it's still fresh. Go and check out the 3-part series.
You know what I liked? I liked that one little part that we talked about. I liked when you were playing the red. You were playing with the book and stuff like that, and your grandmother's name.
Yeah,
I think it was your grandmother, right? Margaret. Was that your grandmother's name?
Yeah, it was my mum's mum, and she's actually. I put it on the video here. I don't know if I can get it on there, but I've actually got a resting stone on my arm for her.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, really, really meant a lot getting that through. That was my favorite bit of that game, really, because that's the thing we said at the beginning that we'd hope could happen, but we were completely oblivious to the fact that it was a very real possibility. We just, when you're with your family, you're just like, oh, I hope it's them. I hope they come and talk to us. And then when we put the name out, that was crazy. I can't even explain how I felt when that happened, to be honest.
So do you got anything else coming up?
Sorry, carry on.
No, I was going to say, are you going to be doing, because you seem to get some good views on your reaction videos, or the reaction video that you put up, and that was really good. I enjoyed that. So we are just waiting for Kyle here.
I think.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Kyle here. I sent him the link again, and we can go on to our next topic. And while we're waiting for Kyle to come back in the room, why don't we start off? Why don't we just dive into it?
Yeah, why not?
The Randonautica, and I know you have your opinions about it. I have my opinions about it. Why don't we just start with that, and until Kyle comes back up.
I mean, I'm more than happy to unzip and flop it on the table right now while we're waiting, Brian.
What's that? Talk about the
I'm not sure how good that comment's going to come across, but I enjoy it. But yeah, I'm more than happy to dive straight into it. I think there's a lot.
Yeah, we might as well. We might as well do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking points on the Randonautica. Now, for me personally, I haven't actually done a video with it yet. I have played it with a friend, and we got nothing. But we've only done it once. So, but I watch those videos all the time. We have channels like Exploring with Josh does it quite a lot. There's another Josh that does it, who's relatively a small YouTuber. I've got him on Twitter. I can't remember his last. Sorry, Josh, if you're on the room, I can't remember your last name. But
are you talking about? Josh McAllister?
That might be the one. Yeah, the guy who does all the shout outs. Yeah.
That's Josh.
So he's got. I think he's got part 8 coming out. So he's getting a lot of content from it. I think so.
Wow.
From what I saw, I think it was yesterday. He posted there's another part coming, but there's a lot of content out for it. I'm just, I think same as like I said last week. I'm teetering on the edge of the scale where I don't think it's a paranormal experience, but
Okay, this is where I'm going to start with the Randonautica. I believe everything happens for a reason. I think sometimes when you're using this, you go out and something happens. That's fine. Could it be a coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. But originally, why this app was created, and I know a little bit about the history on this. The Randonautica app was created originally for people to get out into the community, get them out of the house, and get them to experience on what's going on around them. Is it possible things happen? I think it all started because of that one story of somebody trying it and they found a body on the beach or something like that in luggage, and then it just blew up, and everybody started thinking it was about paranormal or and stuff like that. My personal opinion, I don't think it's connected to paranormal at all. I think things happen for a reason. I think coincidences happen. But on the flip side of that too, and again, I'm not going to name any channels or anything like that. I think sometimes it's kind of set up to make it look like something happened. And that can be entertaining at the end of the day. And I'm not going to crap on anybody for doing that because they have to create content and they want to entertain their subscribers. But at the end of the day, paranormal and Randonautica, to me, there's no correlation whatsoever. And go ahead.
So I was just on that point. It's like I said, I watch a lot of these Randonautica videos, and I do really enjoy the content that's being done with it. I think some of the
me too.
They're so well done. Some of the places they go to in these videos are really cool, and I would never say 100% it isn't paranormal because I don't know. I will say that I'm probably 70-30 that it isn't. So 30% that it is, and that 30%, if it's real, then what's been shared online has got to be one of the most evidented pieces of equipment you could ever use, because some of it is This is my thing. I think I said this last week. I think if something that is said to be paranormal gets you results every single time you play it on then that's when I start to feel a bit fishy about it. It's the same with the Necrophonic app. I use it a lot, but it's not always consistent. The last video I did, it didn't give us really any. I think it answered 1, maybe 2 questions correctly. So I was like, okay, maybe this doesn't work. So I'm not entirely. It's a really weird thing. If something happens all the time, every single video you're getting mind-blowing stuff out, that's when I think there's a problem. Because something like that app, because the thing is, it's an app. I don't trust apps anyway, 100%, because it's manufactured. So, if that thing works with Google Maps, it knows where the abandoned places are, and it knows that people are now using it for haunted stuff. So it's been programmed because they updated the app, which means they probably changed it. Like right now, it's just going to look at these locations because this is what it's being used. A possibility that's why it's doing it. You know, at the end of the day, if people are doing it for entertainment purposes instead of paranormal investigation purposes, then I really enjoy those videos. But I think there's
Hmm.
a lot to be questioned on the validity
Yeah.
on
So
some of these videos.
why don't we do this then? Why don't we continue this after we speak with Kyle, because Kyle is in the green room right now, and
Eh,
so why don't we bring him up? And this is Kyle Roberts from North Alabama Wraith Hunters. He's filling in for Logan, his partner. So I am going to bring him up on screen right now. Okay, there we go. So let me
so
just adjust this. Okay. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I'm making it.
Good. Good. Thank you for filling in for Logan. We really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate y'all having us on.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lex.
well, I just want to firstly, this is the first time I think we've ever spoken. So I wanted to say, nice to meet you. I've been checking out now I've got to get the anagram right, NAWH's videos over the last 2 days to have a look at what you guys are doing. And I got to say, I'm really impressed with your videos, man. I think these investigations are really good.
Yeah, like a couple of them, like I wasn't even thinking that we was gonna get anything. Like it was a dead zone, like most of the night, and then just right there in the last 30 minutes of the investigation, stuff just blows up. Like once equipment starts dying, it's like it's some of the best stuff that we've ever captured.
Yeah, it was almost like I was watching your one last night, the latest one you released. You guys were just doing the necrophonic, or
Yeah,
the SB7. I think it was the SB7 or the necrophonic, one of the two.
the SP7.
Yeah, and some of the responses that you were getting out of the SB7 were pretty incredible.
Uh, that's the most I've ever had off of the SP7, like ever. And we honestly went to the Princess Theater knowing like there was a little bit of like haunted history. Like we didn't know a whole lot of the haunted history of it,
Mm.
and didn't really think it was going to be that big and that active. And boy, was we wrong.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was like, I don't think it's gonna be that active when we show up, and it was just everything showed up and showed out.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that probably, and I'm glad you said that because that's a good segue to my next question. I know you're using the SB7 in that one video. What kind of equipment do you prefer? The SB7, is that one of your favorites, or do you? What would be something that you would turn to on an investigation?
Yeah. I mean, we use the SP7 pretty frequently. Once
Yeah.
we got it, but yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to end up sticking with it because it's given us some of the best evidence I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny. Just to go on with that, I know I watched another video of yours last night. You guys were using the dowsing rods,
Yeah,
and I don't know. Well, I'm seeing this a lot more lately. People using dowsing rods. I've never personally used them, but what do you think of them?
see, I've used them a time or two, and I didn't really know what to think, and then I watched my wife use them, and I don't know what happens when this woman gets these sticks, but I've literally watched it like from a dead standpoint. I was sitting there bumping into her, and the sticks weren't moving.
Mm,
Like the stick stayed straight, and then she asked a question. She said, "We're fixing to leave. Is that okay?" And the sticks literally wrapped around like somebody was giving her a hug.
wow, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the princess. Was that the princess video, or was that another video?
We had that. That's actually happened twice. We
Okay.
had it at Leicester. She had it happen at Leicester with Chelsea and them.
Okay. Okay.
And
Wow.
then,
Leicester was the haunted hospital, wasn't it?
yeah, yes.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
watched that. It's a great video.
I watched the princess one last night, and I did leave a comment. And that place to me was that place looked awesome to investigate.
Dude, it was like we got free roam of the entire place. Like we walked up, talked to the lady, and she was like, "Yeah." She gave us a little bit of the backstory behind it, and then give us a little bit of the haunted history behind it, and told us a few of the spirits that had been active in there and where they were, and then just told us, "All right, y'all have got 5-6 hours. Have fun. Don't get lost."
Wow. And
That's
so
really nice.
let me get this straight. You just walked up to the place and asked if you can go in and investigate, and she said it was okay.
Not on that one.
Okay.
Logan had it. Logan had it set a couple weeks. A couple weeks in advance.
Oh, okay.
And,
I misunderstood. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, that was my fault. But
Yeah.
we had it a couple weeks in advance, and I think they charged like $100 for like 6 hours. But we was
What's going on with that? What's going on with people in the States? Like here in Canada, they don't charge. I don't know. Lex, do they charge where you are?
They do for like paranormal tours and stuff like that. But if it's like an abandoned building that has a guard on it, I mean, there's something I learned very early on is pay a few bribes or make some sort of arrangement with the company owners just to get into some of these properties with them. So unless it's like a company tour, unless you've got a nice guard that lets you in for free, or it's just completely because this thing, I never break into a place. If there's no way in, there's no way in. And we do try and contact people to see if they'll let us do it. So it's tough. I find it weird that people are charging hundreds of dollars to walk around an empty building, though. I think that's cheeky.
Yeah.
Good little side project. They want to make some money.
Yeah.
There's a place in Kentucky that we've been wanting to go to, and they're charging. I think one of them's charging like $600.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's not even pocket money, man. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think,
but it's like 8 hours.
I think it's good in some way. I think it's too expensive. I think, but in this field, let's say like if you can't get into a building because everything is always sealed. I've had a week where every place where me and my team went to, everywhere was a bust. We couldn't get into anywhere, and it really wasted a lot of our time. And if people were doing these things and charging for it, then I would happily pay it. But I think there's a different feel to an investigation if you're allowed on the property as well.
Yeah. I will say that I have snuck on to a couple of places. Just two. Just two.
I mean, sometimes you have to.
Yeah, I really wanted into those places. One was there's been three. Now that I think about it, there's been three. But yeah, it is what it is.
The one that will never leave my mind ever is one of them will stick out forever, and that would be Fort Morgan. It is a old military base, or a battery, you could say, inside Mobile, right on the water. And we was there in t-shirt and shorts because it was warm weather.
Wow.
How bad the mosquito problem was there. By the time we left, we were all covered in bites.
Man.
Oh, that reminds me of a story. I went to Burwash Prison, and the 5-hour drive, and then you have to park your car, and then it's an hour walk. And we didn't realize how bad the bugs were going to be. But Lex, I can send you a picture. I had many bites. I had so many bites that I had to have had at least, and I'm not exaggerating here, at least 1,000 bites.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
And it was mosquitoes, it was horse flies, and it was deer flies all in one. And what's that?
If we're talking about mosquitoes, I'll tell you something that you're not going to be happy with. And it's because I'm lucky, right? So I spent 2 weeks in Malaysia, and the the resort I was in, there was mosquitoes fecking everywhere, and the person I was with got bit, I think, 50 to 60 times in the whole trip. I didn't get bit once.
Of course. Of course. You know what's funny about that? Now what I do is I carry bug spray with me everywhere now. Even in the winter, I'll do it. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, we plan on going back to Fort Morgan at some point, and yeah, there will definitely be like long sleeves during the summer. Like I don't care. Like I will go full glove, mask, everything. Nope. I ain't going for that again.
You got to be careful with stuff like that, because you can get really sick from mosquitoes, can't you? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she got bit over 1,000 times. Like her right leg was just red, red.
Wow. Wow. So you want to ask the?
So let's move on a bit. So, Kyle, in terms of, I asked this to, I'm going to ask this to every guest that we come on, and I have done so far. Can you remember and tell us of your first real paranormal experience that kind of opened you up to this side of it?
Yeah, it actually happened inside of the house that I'm in now. I was like,
and you're still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asleep on the couch, and I was like 15, 16 years old, was laying on the couch. It was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I had my back to the TV, and I just had this feeling that somebody was watching me. And I turned around, and I seen a figure just standing, just clear as day, like right in front of me. And
wow,
it was so vivid. I remember seeing this thing so vivid that it looked just like my little brother. So I screamed, I hollered at him, and I was like, "Hey man, what are you doing up? Go to bed. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning." And I was like, "What are you doing awake?" And my mom comes down the hallway and was like, "Hey, why did you wake him up?" I was like, "What do you mean wake him up? He was just standing right here." She was like, "No, he's been in the bedroom with me."
Oh wow!
Wow!
And I was like, "What?" But,
so that really got you. That really got you started in all of this, then.
Yeah, that was the very first paranormal experience I ever had.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Have you had anything else in the house?
It's awesome. Yeah.
Do what now?
Have you had anything else in the? Because obviously you said you're still in the same house. Have you had that again, or was it just the one time? Or
honest to God, it just happened the one time, and then now a few nights ago, it came a really, really bad thunderstorm, and there was lightning was just shooting all the way across the sky. So I called my wife outside, and she seen my granddad walking across the yard. My granddad died in like 2008.
Whoa.
Yeah, like
interesting.
like narrowed him down to like a man about 5'6", 5'7", older looking, overalls, walking across the yard, and she seen him when the lightning flashed.
Wow. That reminds me of an experience that I didn't have. Patty, who was on my second season, her son passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago, somewhere in there between 2 to 5 years. So I guess his girlfriend, who he was dating before he passed away, she went to his grave, to the graveyard to take some pictures of his gravestone and stuff like that. And she supposedly visits him every year or whenever she can. I guess she was there one night, and a thunderstorm started, and the lightning came. And she was taking video. And then when she got home, she looked back at the video, and there were 2 legs standing there in the video. It was absolutely, Lex, I will send you that video. It's absolutely crazy. And you see the lightning and the 2 legs standing there, and it looks like the person has a cane, and it's definitely nobody was there except her. And it was absolutely crazy. I'll definitely send you that video. It's absolutely nuts. And then the lightning happened again, and it wasn't there anymore.
Wow.
So it's just a crazy, crazy experience. My next question for you, Kyle, would be regarding your channel. What is coming up in future videos? Do you plan to do any really cool spots? Do you want to talk about some of the spots that you're planning on doing, or where you're planning on taking your channel?
Right now we're really trying to figure out exactly what we're gonna do next, because now we're to the point to where like all the abandoned places like closer to us are like we're done. Like that's we've been to them 2 or 3 times, have a couple of videos on them, so like we'll be branching out to different states, and we're hoping to do in the spring or summertime a couple more in a couple in Kentucky, and then we're talking about going a full weekend to Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
Doing a few locations in Savannah, Georgia, and then we'll see from there, honestly.
Yeah. Do you have any videos coming out soon, or the one that I think the one you just posted was about a week ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That will probably be like there'll be sporadic videos here and there from like if we pick up a random investigation in between now and then. But yeah, we'll probably do a couple more videos here and there in between now and spring.
Okay. Great. Okay, everyone, here you go. This is Kyle. This is Kyle Roberts from North Alabama Wraith Hunters. I did put his link to his channel in the description. I want to thank Kyle for coming on the show today. We really, really appreciate you filling in for Logan. And thanks again. You want to say anything, Lex?
Again, just want to say thank you so much for coming up. I know that I think you were out when we started doing this today, so thank you so much for getting back in. And then also thank you for coming on to sharing off that first story of yours. That's definitely something that, like I said, I don't know if you saw the show we done already, but I have said before that my favorite thing about the paranormal world is hearing everyone's origin stories into it, because they're all different. So thank you so much for sharing yours. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what's new with the channel. I'm hoping you guys get to go on that trip and do, Savannah, Georgia and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you very much.
Do you want to ask him about the random? Yes, there you go.
In one word, either yes or no, Carl. Randonautica, is it paranormal?
We put him on the spot. There.
Well, David was quite quick on it. So.
Like, there's been a couple times to where I have like ended up at a decent spot, like that we didn't even know like we could even get into. Like I've hit it up, and ended up in the street. Like it was.
So is that weird. A maybe? Is that a maybe? Are you a maybe?
I'm not a yes or a no, and I'm not a maybe. I don't know. Like I'm not messing.
I'm going to make a score sheet for it, and I'm just going to put it up to see where we tally at the end of the series. By the end of the discussion, we'll see where we get. But anyway, that's all I wanted to know. So thank you very much.
Thanks again, Kyle. And again, people, his channel is in the description. If you can go click on that and go subscribe to his channel, that would be awesome. Thanks again, Kyle. Have a great day, buddy. Well, there you go. Kyle's a great guy. And you know what? I've spoken to Logan quite a bit, and Logan's a really, really nice guy too. They're both, and actually, we spoke to him yesterday a little bit through his very, very bad internet. And but other than that, they're great guys, and it seems I think they take their wives with them on the investigations. I don't know if Logan's married. I think it might be a girlfriend. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. But it sounds like Kyle brings his wife on the investigations.
Well, I think that's really cool. Like when you can bring a partner across. Like as you know, like my partner is, my partner in the video. She comes in and does all my investigations. So I think it's nice to do that.
Yeah, I think actually Logan's in the room, and I think he said something. Is it his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Maybe he's correcting me.
Uh, he is thanking
Oh,
us
he's
for
just
having
thanking us. Okay, there you go. So something I found interesting, the question I asked, and I think we've spoken about this. I think we spoke about this with David from Our Haunted Lives about dowsing rods.
Yes.
You know what? I'm really on the fence about dowsing rods. And I don't think it was mentioned on this show. I think it was mentioned on another show that I think personally myself, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Lex, when you're using the dowsing rods, I think when you're asking a question, there's an energy that goes from your brain down throughout your whole body and could affect those dowsing rods in some
So,
way or another.
in a way, it could be. I can't remember what the condition's called. It's the same method that goes into using Ouija boards, where the theory suggests that there's a subconscious muscle in your brain, that because you're asking a question out loud and you're waiting for an answer, you subconsciously answer the question yourself and you move it involuntarily. And so to you, you're like, I'm not moving this thing, I'm not moving it, which is you're telling the truth because you don't know that you're doing it. So there is a realm of possibility that the same could be happening to the dowsing rods, where you think you're holding them still, but something in your brain is telling you to squeeze harder on one side. I don't know. I've never really used them, so I don't know how they work. But
I've
I
never
don't know,
used them either.
because aren't they originally used for water sourcing, or is it oil source?
I
Is it
believe
water?
there. Yeah, I believe there was. Yeah, I believe it's water. I don't know. I just obviously everybody's going to have their own opinion on different things, and obviously we have our own opinions on certain things. But I've been told, and I've researched this a little bit, and like I said a few seconds ago, that your energy in your body is very strong, very very strong. So if you're telling your brain something when you ask a question, I'm personally thinking that it's automatically going to go through your body, and the question that you want answered is going to come out on those dowsing rods. That's my opinion.
I do have
I'm
a
not
good
sure if
test
it's
for it.
right. It might
I have a
not be
good.
right. I don't know.
But
What's
you can test it, but
okay?
you
We're
can
already doing a K2 test. We're not doing a dowsing rod
not
test.
like that, not like that. I'm saying like in future.
Yeah.
If you were to let's say you chose to use the dowsing rods on a video, or maybe I would, do it blindfolded and headphoned, so you can't hear or lip read the question. Get someone else to ask the question while you hold them, because if you can't hear the question, your brain can't react to it. So you could test it.
Mm.
Same way as doing the do a Ouija board blindfolded, so you can't see where
Yeah,
the
but
letters are.
But in that case, don't you think if I'm telling you or asking you a question, that same energy from your brain, because your brain's got to process it, right? That question.
But that's if the idea is that the brain. They're saying that something else is moving the rods, right? But we're
Yeah.
saying that potential that you hear the question because you've asked it, or someone's asked it and you can hear it, that your brain answers it for you. So it sends a message through your body and you answers it through the rods, which is fine. But if you take away the senses of being able to hear that question, so don't make sure it's not you that's asking it. Make sure you can't hear it, and then do it, and then see if you get the same results. Because I think the dowsing rods, because I've seen a few. I think I put it on Twitter today. Like, what's your favorite simple non-tech? And someone said dowsing rods, and I think that they've always intrigued me because of the videos I've seen. I do want to get some because I do want to do it. But I think if you're going to do it in a video where you do it normally, and then do it again blindfolded, and to see if you happen to get the same responses. Because it is worth the thing about doing tests and being in a scientific field like this. We work. You have to work to disprove your own theory sometimes. So if you're like, okay, cool, the dowsing rod's definitely moved. Let's do it blindfolded. See if it does the same thing. Do it again. Or do it deafened. Sorry. So I don't know. They've always intrigued me. I think there could be a mental thing that could be helping the move. But again, I'm probably about 50-50 on where I stand on dowsing rods at the moment.
Okay, so let's before we end the show, your final thoughts on Randonautica.
Well, just I think someone. done a really good thing for our community by finding something on a them there. And I think made the app popular in our community. I think whoever made it introduced an update so it would put all the haunted buildings into the software, because there was an update where you had to reinstall it. So I think it's been manufactured to find these kind of places. Maybe at the beginning it wasn't, but since it was taken down and then put back up, they did that for a reason. Something's been changed. So I feel like someone has they've gone to Google Maps, found out, researched everything they could in local areas, and they're just like, right, cool, bang on there, put that on there. It's not going to take you to the ballroom down the road because that's open and nice, but it will take you 2 doors down, put it on the app. So I think it's manufactured.
Okay.
Prove me wrong, guys.
So my final thoughts. Yeah, my final thoughts. I think if you like it, continue using it. If you think it's working for you, it's working for you. And if you want to continue doing those videos, continue doing the videos, because they can be entertaining. But at the end of the day, when it's concerning paranormal or anything along those lines, I don't believe. And that's my thoughts. But I love watching the videos. I love watching them. They're entertaining. But I won't use it personally in my videos, but that's just me. I played with it a couple of times and in my home, and it sent me to the bathroom. Now, my question is, why is it sending me to my own bathroom? So, and that's fine. And it sent me to a house, which was just right up the street. Now, was there something at that house I was supposed to see? The house looked pretty boring, so I don't know. But again, if you like it, play with it, and if you don't, then don't. And that's how I feel. I'm on the fence about. Well, no, I can't say I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence. I don't believe it's associated with paranormal, and that's fine. But continue doing the videos as long as people are enjoying them. That's all I have to say about that.
And I've seen I've seen some really, really entertaining videos with this app.
Yeah,
but, it's always going to be a tough one when it's something as popular as this, because you're always going to split. You're always going to get a split on the decision on what it is, and I think that you need it. I think if you're using it as evidence, then you have to be ready and welcome to the people that are trying to dispute your evidence, because that's what science is. So I think if that's your way of experimenting with it, then we're going to be the other scientists that are going to be like, okay, prove how it works. And if eventually one day it comes out, I mean, I'm more than happy. Like I said, if someone can guarantee me that it works one day in the future, I will come on this show and I will apologize for saying it isn't. But from what I've seen,
so will I.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm more than happy to eat my words if I'm proven wrong. So it's entertaining. I like the fact that people have found something good in it to have something new on their channel. And in terms of this community using it, it was a breath of fresh air to see something different, whether or not accurate. But it was nice. It was a good period of time where the videos were coming up and they were completely different to normal investigation videos, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and that was entertaining. So I'm the last thing I'm going to say. Last night I put up a post on Twitter, Instagram, of the letter P. I'm not going to say what that means, but there is something coming down the road. There is something coming down the road that I want everybody to keep their eyes open, because there is something big coming down the road. And I am going to announce it on the show. But that P is going to appear on my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all those things over the next little while. So I want people to think about what that P stands for. So
I just thought you were trying to be
it's not paranormal.
With your one letter.
Yeah. But like I said, there is something big coming down the road. Lex doesn't know. I will share it with Lex eventually. But other than that, I'm going to leave it at that. I definitely want to thank Kyle Roberts from North Alabama Wraith Hunters for coming on the show today, for filling in for Logan. His description or their link or their channel is in the description. If you want to go click on that, watch some of their videos, subscribe to their channel, that'd be great. Other than that, I want to thank you, Lex, for another great show. And I am going to get you to end it.
Well, let me just say my final words. I do have them written down. Oh God, why did I write it in Spanish?
Oh yes, my final words too. My final words too.
I just want to say to everyone, that came in the room again this week. If you've been here from the beginning to now, thank you for coming again. We look forward to seeing you in our room every single week, and we are going to keep doing this for as long as we can. And I hope you guys are enjoying what we're putting out. We put a lot of time and effort into getting this show running. I'm sure Brian's probably sick of phoning me at the moment, but it's all for a good cause.
Never.
Well, I like it. So
I like him.
But I was going to say, yeah, it's an absolute pleasure that you guys are coming on the show, sharing it out, showing the love, and just keep that up. And I'll sign off with my few messages, which is the same as last week. I just want everyone in the room to stay strong, stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you.
Yeah, and mine is, don't let yesterday